Have you ever wondered why basic goods and services have to be bought in a market? What are the economic forces that drive prices? Welcome to this video where we explore why things can't be free by examining the Production Possibility Frontier, or PPF. Thank you for tuning in to Simply Economics. If you would like us to produce more educational content like this, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. In economics, when we look at production possibility curves or frontiers, we're trying to find out which combinations of goods and services can be produced using current resources. The PPF is a great tool for understanding the limits of our economy and helps us understand why some things must cost money. This video will outline the basics of the PPF and show you how it explains why things can't be free. So, watch this video till the end to get some insightful economic knowledge. What is the Production Possibility Frontier? The Production Possibility Frontier, or PPF, is a tool in business and economics used to show the maximum amount of two different goods that can be produced, given a limited availability of a resource that both goods require. It is also called the Production Possibility Curve, or PPC, or the Transformation Curve. The Production Possibility Frontier concept states that production is at its maximum efficiency level, and increasing the production of one commodity can only happen if the production of another commodity is decreased due to limited resources. This concept helps to measure and display the efficiency level at which two different commodities can be produced simultaneously. Managers in private companies use these data to determine the exact combination of goods that can be produced for maximum profit. What is the purpose of the PPF? The PPF is a concept in macroeconomics that indicates the most efficient point of a country's economy. It achieves this by optimally allocating resources for the production of consumer goods and services while considering production factors and determining the best combination of goods. It's one of the essential economic concepts that guide resource allocation and production. When a country, like the United States, is in an optimal state, it implies that the available resources are being efficiently utilized. This means that there are appropriate numbers of wheat fields, cow pastures, car factories, and auto sales centers, as well as accountants and lawyers offering tax and legal services. If an economy is not producing the amount shown by the PPF, it could mean that resources are not being used efficiently. When production falls short of the Production Possibility Frontier, it indicates that the economy is not stable and will eventually decline. The Production Possibility Frontier illustrates that there are limitations to production. To operate efficiently, those managing an economy must determine the optimal combination of goods and services to produce. What are the assumptions about the PPF? On a graph, the PPF represents the production levels that are not possible with the current resources. The curve on the graph represents the optimal levels. The following assumptions are involved. Number 1. A company economy wants to produce two products. Number 2. There are limited resources. Number 3. Technology and techniques remain constant. And number 4. All resources are fully and efficiently used. If a company wants to determine how much of each product to manufacture, they can use a graph to plot the number of products produced based on resources available. As resources are limited, making more of one product means allocating fewer resources to the other product. Understanding the connection of PPFs, scarcity, and trade-offs. In economics, PPFs show two important concepts: scarcity and trade-offs. Scarcity means that we never have enough of the things we want or need, whether it's time, money, or resources for production. Since these things are limited, we have to make decisions on how to use them most effectively. Scarcity leads to trade-offs. When resources are limited, focusing on one thing often means sacrificing something else. For instance, if you spend time working, you'll have less time to spend with your family because a day only has 24 hours. Also, if you spend more money on groceries, you'll have less money left for buying clothes and other essentials as your bank account balance is finite. To clarify, when an entrepreneur focuses most of her resources on producing one good, she will need to allocate fewer resources towards producing another good. The Production Possibilities Frontier is a tool used to illustrate and analyze these trade-offs, and the slope of the PPF can provide a measure of the extent of these trade-offs. How is the PPF interpreted? The Production Possibility Frontier, PPF, is a curved graph that shows the optimal production levels for two commodities. One commodity is measured on the x-axis and the other on the y-axis. Each point on the curve represents the highest level of efficiency for producing both commodities given the available resources. The slope of the Production Possibility Frontier indicates the most efficient production combinations, which always include more than one option. To properly interpret a PPF, one must grasp the notion of opportunity cost. This term in economics denotes the expense of selecting one production option instead of another. The PPF takes into account both constant and increasing opportunity costs, which are shown through visual representation. Why is the PPF a curve? Most production possibility frontiers are concave, meaning they curve outward from the origin. This can be observed after analyzing several PPFs. When a production possibilities frontier is concave, it means that the opportunity cost of producing an extra unit of good X is not fixed. Rather, it increases as more and more of good X is produced and less of good Y is produced. This is caused by diminishing marginal productivity. Diminishing marginal productivity means that the more resources you put into producing a good, the smaller the increase in output becomes. As a result, the producer needs to sacrifice more of good Y to achieve the same 1-unit increase in good X as production of good X increases. How does PPF show economic growth? Economists can use this technique to identify the optimal allocation of resources in a country's economy, where it produces the maximum amount of goods possible. If the production level lies on the curve, the country can only increase the production of one good by decreasing the production of another good. If the curve indicates that the economy is producing less than expected, it means that the resources are not being utilized to their full capacity. In this scenario, it is possible to enhance the production of certain goods without reducing the production of others. An example of using PPF on the national scale. Consider an economy that can only produce two goods, milk and soap. Points A, B, and C are plotted on a curve that displays the most effective use of resources for the economy. It is possible to produce 5 units of milk and 5 units of soap, as indicated by point C, as it is to produce 3 units of milk and 7 units of soap. The economy cannot achieve the goal represented by point Y with its current resources, whereas point X indicates an inefficient use of resources. To increase milk production, the economy needs to reduce the amount of resources it currently uses for making soap, as indicated by point A. If the economy decides to produce more soap, as indicated by points B and C, it will have to take away some resources from milk production, resulting in lesser milk production than point A. Furthermore, shifting production from location A to B will result in a slight reduction in milk production compared to the increase in soap output. However, relocating the economy from point B to C will lead to a significant drop of 50% in milk production, while the soap output increases only by 75%. It is important to note that A, B, and C are the most efficient ways to allocate resources. The economy needs to decide how to reach the PPF and which combination to use. For instance, if there is a higher demand for milk, increasing its output will result in a proportional decrease in the production of soap. Markets play a crucial role in determining the shape of the PPF. PPF and the Pareto Efficiency. The Pareto Efficiency is a concept named after Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto. It measures the efficiency of commodity allocation on the PPF curve. According to the Pareto Efficiency, any point inside the PPF curve is inefficient as it produces a lower total output of commodities than the output capacity. On one hand, any point that is located outside the PPF curve cannot be achieved, since it implies a combination of goods that demands more resources than what is available. Thus, in situations where resources are restricted, the only feasible combinations of commodities are found on the PPF curve, where one commodity is represented on the x-axis and the other on the y-axis. What are the limitations of the PPF? The production possibility frontier has some limitations. 1. It suggests that the production efficiency of different products is not taken into account, as it assumes technology to be a constant factor. 2. Occasionally there might be confusion when two products compete for the same resource, but one of them has lower production costs due to technological advancements. And lastly, if a company is producing 3 or more products that compete for the same resources, the PPF binary system cannot be applied. Additionally, the PPF is limited to a basic side-by-side illustration and cannot be used for more complex models. So why can't things be free? The PPF theory shows that resources are limited, so there must be some kind of trade-off in terms of production. In other words, it is impossible to produce unlimited quantities of goods and services without sacrificing something else. This implies that resources are scarce, and therefore, things cannot be free. In order to produce large quantities of goods and services, some resources must be sacrificed. Thus, the PPF serves as an important reminder that we must be careful in how we use our limited resources in order to ensure efficient production. The PPF also demonstrates that it is impossible to have limitless abundance without compromising quality or quantity of the output. Therefore, when making decisions about how to allocate resources, it is important to consider both short-term and long-term goals for maximum efficiency. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future content. We truly appreciate your support. See you in the next one.